Everybody, it is January 2025, and this is the first of, I guess, 2 years now. First one for this year for KvCore training. My name is Jason.Yeager with eXp Realty here in Southwest Missouri. Welcome back if you are joining us again, and welcome for the first time if you are new. If you are an agent anywhere that is looking to grow your business with your CRM, specifically with KvCore, then you are in the right place. This is what I love to teach on is how to use your CRM to its fullest to be able to grow your business and other tools and tech through marketing and direct marketing to your database and growing your database essentially. So that's something that you feel like you want to start growing in 2025. Smash that subscribe button and join us live on Zoom so you can ask questions. We do these the first Tuesday of every single month. So if you want to get on our mailing list for reminders about that, certainly you can just reach out to me. All my contact information is down below in the description, but the easiest way, obviously, is just hit subscribe and click the bell on YouTube, and you'll be notified whenever a new video comes out. So these are always posted right after we do the live. And if you're on Workplace, thank you for joining us there. You can ask questions in there. My admin Lisa will be watching that for you guys and let me know when we get anybody that's asking questions in there. So let's dive into it. Got a lot to go over. Today's topic is going to be about how to get seller leads and convert seller leads in your KvCore. And there'll be multifacets parts of that are outside of KvCore, ideas and strategies that we might be able to touch on today. But really, this is going to be kind of a very try to condensed version. I won't get in tried not to get too far deep into the weeds on the details, but if you want some more in-depth guides on some of these individual strategies and tips, just reach out to me anytime, Jason at Great Branson Homes. That is my local team here. If you are ever looking to have clients that are wanting to move to the Southwest Missouri area, specifically Branson, Springfield. That is my market down here. I'd love to have your referrals. So reach out anytime. Let's connect and let's dive into these strategies here on how to get seller leads. So, um, for the last probably year and a half, the seller leads, I feel like have probably been down than what most people are used to. A lot of people have been sitting on the equity, sitting on their current interest rate. And so you want to be able to create conversations around finding out what their situation is, and maybe in your marketing and your advertising, you can start in speaking to specific type of people that you're trying to convert, from getting off of the fence, and they're finding out what their motivations are and how you can best serve them. People who have not moved in probably 5 plus years, that your past clients and stuff, then they're probably sitting on quite a bit of equity, and they may not realize just how much that is. So that's the biggest driver for all seller leads, is finding out what kind of wealth have they built up and what would that do for them uh, if they were able to unlock that wealth that's tied up in their home. What kind of decisions might they be able to make had they known that they had, $130,000 worth of equity versus maybe only $75,000 of equity. That's a huge difference in what you could do with the extra money that you didn't even maybe realize that you had. And that could be the difference maker in what would get somebody to decide to have a conversation, a real conversation about selling and making a move. So just think about those things when you're creating your conversations through personal conversations with people. Because at the end of the day, it still always comes down to once you get a lead, you still got to have a real good conversation to identify what their goals are, what their situation is, and what their time frame is, so that you can learn how to best follow up with them. So let me share my screen here, and we'll kind of start going from the top down. The first step to building a seller-focused um, to get seller leads in KvCore is seller-focused landing pages, or probably what would better be used is a squeeze page. And let me share screen real quick. Okay, here we go. Also, if you don't have the YouTube channel, the link is in the chat here inside of the Zoom if you want it. It's just at jason.yeager EXP. So let's start here with the marketing. Over here, we've got, I'm sorry, lead engine tools. All lead engine tools. We're going to build a squeeze page, not a landing page. Now, let me show you this. On your default website, on the front, everybody has access to a seller landing page here, where it says sell right here at the top. Unless you've, had some real customized job on your website, all the KvCore websites come with this little button right here. When you hit sell, it's gonna say, see what your home is worth, right? And then you just enter and notice that it just asks for an address at the beginning. So this is not the end um, of the lead capture, right? It's just first get your address, and then you put your information in afterwards. And I'll just show you like 123 South Main Avenue, whatever. Okay, so then you put next, and then it's gonna have um, a little page right here that shows the value here according to Adam, and then this is Zillow's estimate. These are vastly different. um, and I know Main Avenue down there. Again, this is just an online Zestimate, really, is what they're pulling. For most people, they're going to be looking in multiple different places to try to get their home value. So depending on where you stick um, your link for your seller evaluation page, it's going to take them right to here, right? Now, the difference in doing this is that it just comes into your KvCore. If they click on that, if you're using this link, your website slash seller slash valuation. This is not a squeeze page. This is just a landing page, a basic seller landing page. And then it's going to look a lot like a squeeze page that we would build, right? Except that once you enter, then you have it just goes into a pile of seller leads in your system that you don't really know how they got there. You don't know where they really came from, unless you're pumping money behind one avenue to where you're driving people back to that one link, and you only have the one effort that you're doing, marketing effort to try to get seller leads. Then any seller leads that you're getting, and you might have a few that kind of float in there just by visiting your page on a buyer campaign that you were looking at. But really, the biggest difference I can tell you is that you're going to be able to add hashtags when you build a squeeze page versus a landing page. And so you have here build squeeze page under all lead engine tools, and just click on that, and you'll see that you have multi-property, single property. These can be used typically to get buyer leads. And then you've got seller squeeze, and see right here, you just start putting in what source you're going to be hosting this link. You're going to generate a link for a seller squeeze page right over here. And then you just kind of put in where you're going to be hosting this so that when the lead comes in, again, you identify where that source is. So you can track it and know where you're getting these seller leads from. Okay. Am I going to put this on Facebook? Then you could just put source Facebook. Okay. And then what hashtags do you want to associate with this lead when they come in? Probably seller. Okay. And if it's like in a certain area, that's the other thing too, is you can isolate this down to speak to a certain mm, neighborhood, a certain city that you're trying to focus on to get leads in. Um, that's that other difference besides just tracking where they come from, is being able to create a more focused message to the, when you're trying to farm a neighborhood that has a really high turnover. Um, that's would be my recommendation, is if you're going to get very specific about a neighborhood that you want to farm, then find a neighborhood that is actually selling a lot of houses per year. So how would you, people may not know, like, how would you even know, unless you are a very experienced agent and that has already been very well versed in the market and knows their market very well. Um, you've already served a ton of clients and recognize where those hot spots are, then you can already just start putting in a uh, area right down here. You could get, like I said, city, county, not so uh, niche, zip code, right? You could capture plenty of seller leads right here just by doing, for me, let's say Branson, right? And then you could do city of Branson. And I would probably want to then add Branson as a hashtag in case you ever want to isolate anybody that you're trying to speak to sell one of your listings that you get in Branson, or just trying to put other marketing together towards a Branson audience or whatever city it is, neighborhood, whatever it is, right? You could put that there and then you just hit generate link. Okay. And then, what it does is creates, I'm going to copy this clipboard here. We'll put the link in another window here. Find out what your Branson home is worth. Okay, so this is where they would go when they want to find out what their Branson home is worth. So who's clicking on this? The people that you're trying to get to click on this are people who live in Branson. So when you post this on Facebook, you're going to want to go on there and create a post that will help narrow that, speak to that audience of people. If you're already very active on your business page and you're already kind of been trying to get people to like your page that are already in your area, that's the general business plan there, is to already start creating marketing around your ideal area. But if this is going to be very specific, like a neighborhood, then you're not going to be able to put an ad behind this post, boost the post, or create a Facebook ad and have it only show to a specific neighborhood. Facebook doesn't let you get that specific. But if you're going to do a city or certainly a county, then yes, you can then isolate it down to there. I would say the benefit of being really niche would be if you already have an email list of people that you can direct market to in that neighborhood. If you live in that neighborhood and you have a ton of phone numbers for everybody, if you want to send a direct mail to their house in that neighborhood, right? Then you could have this link live on a QR code that then when they would be able to scan in and go directly from their phone to this page and find out what their home is worth if you're doing a very specific neighborhood. So here they put the address in and then they'll opt in with their information afterwards. And then you saw kind of like what it looks like there. Let me show you like how you would find out what the high turnover rate is for a specific neighborhood. You know, like what neighborhood should I farm that has a high turnover rate? Go into your MLS, and here's just an idea. For me, like this is just a you create a general search for the area, right? Maybe let's see, we got City of Branson right here. There's 437 homes that are active for sale in Branson, but we want to find out how many are selling. Okay, so then we'll go to closed. Okay, so we had in the last year we had 803 listings that sold in the city of Branson. Okay, right there. And then what I would probably want to do is look. There's not a whole lot of data specific for a neighborhood that you're going to get in 1 year. Unfortunately, because home sales have been down this last year in 2024. So it might actually be a good idea to go back 2 years. And let's just see what that would look like. Okay. Sold date as early as 2 years ago. City of Branson. Maybe you want to isolate this down to single family homes. Now we're down to 595. We have a lot of condos in Branson. So there you go. Over the last 2 years, 595 home sales, but we need a subdivision that you're going to want to then isolate this down to. So what I want to do is go to my list of homes at the top here, get this version, whatever MLS that you're using, get this search started, and then look at your list, and then you can sort this out by view here by simply just going to that view button right there. I need a category for subdivision to be in this uh one of these columns, and it's already right here because I think I did this earlier already. Let me look and see. Yeah, it's right here. Subdivision. Okay, cool. Saved. Now, let me just show you how I did that just for posterity. Okay. Over here, the available fields for residential for sale, you can search for any other category, and one of those was subdivision. So you just start typing that in, and you can see it's already been added. You just click on it, and it adds it over here. And then where you want it to line up in your columns, you can move that around just by clicking and dragging it, wherever. So that's how that works. Okay. And then you save your view. Now you've got subdivision as one of your categories or columns rather in here. Okay. So now you can now they're all sorted alphabetical order in the city and according to the subdivision, right? So now you can just go and see, okay, well, awesome. Let's look and see, do they have stats by subdivision? I doubt it. No, they don't. So best way would be just to go to your list and just start scrolling through and seeing which ones are starting. You're seeing a bunch of houses that have sold in the last 2 years that are common. Black Oak Estates, there's a bunch in 2 years. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Branson Hills, bunch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I would definitely be farming Branson Hills as an example. Okay, here's 111 Bay Hill Court, that you could go and you could like be like, they just go check. Gosh, I've lost my way here. Okay. So we could go and put instead of City of Branson, we could do Branson Hills. Maybe if it's going to find it. You have to let it suggest what you're trying to type. You can't just type in exactly and hit enter, unfortunately. Okay, it's not finding Branson Hills as a sort of maybe Branson North. Oh, it's because we're on seller squeeze. So what we'd probably want to do is if you want to get specific to a neighborhood, do market report rather than seller squeeze page. Same thing, really. It's just going to be instead of just giving them some stats on their subdivision. So you can make it if you're going to farm a neighborhood, maybe it's not get your home value. Maybe that's not the message that you're asking. Maybe it's just find out um, sign up for a market report for your neighborhood. And then here on the market report, then I think here you could do Branson Hills probably as a subdivision. Yeah. Then the neighborhood shows up. So pro tip there. The neighborhood specific criteria is only going to be able to be used for market reports. So whenever you're trying to think about the things that you want to put out there, um, keep that in mind. Okay. Same principle applies though. You put the neighborhood in for the market report. You put where you're going to be posting the source of these um, ad essentially that you're going to be creating because you can do this organically, not spend any money, right? You can take this link and you can put Branson Hills as a hashtag. You, mm, gosh. Oh, hashtags cannot have spaces. That's right. Sorry. So Branson Hills hashtag all one word, then probably seller and probably uh Branson. Okay. And I'm probably gonna put Facebook as a hashtag as well. Okay. So whenever the lead opts in, they get all those hashtags automatically imported, and I see that it came in with source FB for Facebook, whatever you want to use that at. And then you generate the link here, and then you're going to get a little, just click that little deal at the side, and then you can put that, let's just show it how it's going to look. It's going to immediately ask for your email. I'll just like continue with my Google. Please, one more thing. Please enter your cell we'll use for your password. Okay, so their password is going to be their cell phone. And that helps kind of solidify whether or not they're really a serious buyer. If they put their cell phone in, you of course are going to get that as a lead info as well. In addition, that's their, kind of you can all right here, the button says, no thanks, just let me in. I have my website set up to not require a phone number. So this is just, we're going to try for it, but they can obviously keep going without it. Okay. So you can just click on that and it will register the lead. And then here's my market report. Okay. So awesome. No data. Oh, it's because I just signed up as a lead. So it didn't register that I came in. Let's try if I was already logged in. And then I use that same link. Now it shows up. Tricky because obviously every person that I'm going to be sharing this link is potentially going to be not already signed up on my website. But that's what it should look like. Market report for Branson Hills. Here's, just a bird's eye view of the area right here. It's real clean. Market average home price is 906,000. Great neighborhood to farm. Not only is it a great price, average price range, home price, but they have quite a bit that sell throughout the year. So that's what you want. You want to be able to focus your efforts on an area that's going to produce for you and have an area that's going to have a high turnover rate, right? That's awesome. So there you go. And then on down here, it has homes for sale in, there's that one on Bay Hill, there's one on Royal Dornoch, um, popular listings. Yeah. So that's what they'll get if they sign up for the market report. Okay. Now, the key here is that once you get it as a lead and it comes in, let's look. I should have myself as a lead in here now. Yeah, there I am. So now what do I do with this lead? Okay. Um, Now I'm going to want to start following up with this lead. Now, if they had come in through that squeeze page and they had just done their address, and did not, let's say they went, you did one where it was just like their home address on that seller squeeze page, right? Go back over here, then another window and remind you that was the market report page that we created. The other one was the seller squeeze page here. Okay. Yeah. So this one, the first one, sometimes they'll do this. They'll put their address in and 23 Main, whatever. Next. Now, because it's my computer's tracked that I've already logged in here, it's going to say, please verify your information right here. Okay. But it would ask for my information. And then sometimes the lead will be like, oh, you know what? Never mind. I'm out. So then they'll back out. But the thing is that once they've hit enter with their address, you still will get a lead as with just an address. No name, you just have an address. Sometimes you'll get a name and an address, and no contact information, no email, no phone number. So then what do you do? I would not just dump those leads if you, because I think probably more so than not, you will get people who will end up starting to put their address information in, and then they're not really ready to put their personal information in. But it's still worth following up with these leads to be able to try to open a conversation with them on down the road. How do you do that? Okay. So I would say first and foremost, try to mail them something to that address. Okay. You could do some investigative work by simply going to your MLS. You could go to like RPR, access that here. You could find out a little information, do some detective work, and find out who's at that address. 123 Main, whatever. I don't know. What do you want to do? I don't know, like the 111 Bay Hill Court. Okay. Oh. Well, then I could go and then I could find out, okay, there's the owner's name. It was sold back in May of this last year. Um, and well, um, you know, RVM confidence rating. It's all right here because this is a pretty recent sold. It's got a pretty recent market confidence rating on here already. Okay. So you can find out the owner's name just by looking up at RPR. You could go down and look at the other information that they provide down in here. There's additional resources down here for you as well. But all that to say is that all you have to do is just do some digging, get their name. If you want, here's the other route that you could do is just by going to white pages and seeing if there's a phone number or email that's on record. There's no guarantee that it's going to work, but if you're insistent on only wanting to stay at an arm's length distance from the lead and hope that you can create something to send to them to give them a home value without having any information gathered to you, then you could try to, do the old school method before we had the yellow pages. To go find somebody's phone number, it was in the yellow pages. To find out where they lived, it was in the yellow pages. And really just the email. I mean, there's ways that you can try to gather it just by looking at the address. But first step is just try to put a package together. Okay. Put a uh you have what they call a property flyer you could do, create a report for this. No, let's see. Yeah, property flyer. One page, right? It looks like that. It'll have their estimate at the top, little um, branded marketing down at the bottom, the specs of the home, and a picture of the home with a little deal right here. You could print this out, put any of your other own marketing of yourself, a nice handwritten letter just to say, hey, I saw that you had visited the website. You were curious maybe about your home value, just wanted to drop something off personally to you. Please reach out if I could be of any service. I don't know, something like that, that something that's going to be personally written with your additional branding and what you're about. Why choose me? Some other kind of marketing that would be in addition to this, or just simply your business card with, a nice, clean, well put together little pack that goes in a manila envelope or some kind of a nice folder that you would maybe, drop off physically to them or mail it to them. Okay. That's would be my suggestion when you get a lead that has not given any of their personal information over to you. Okay, so that's one method. Now, the seller campaigns, like where, how would you try to all besides Facebook, where else would you try to get that? Well, you would probably want to create a Google ad, maybe put this on Google as well. You could very easily have the link ready to go for you know, having Google start going and finding some targeted leads in the area that you're wanting to service as well. So you could do that and just go Google ads. You could just Google that. Your organic reach through your social media is fine, to be able to get, ideal people that you've already been trying to stay in front of an audience that is already within your sphere, That's very small compared to the potential other people. Think about all the other people that you don't know that live in the area that you serve, right? So then you're going to need to put some money behind a Facebook ad to be able to reach the other people and introduce them to whatever it is that you're advertising through social media or through Google. I don't know why this is taking so long. Well, I'm not sure. My Hopefully my internet is. You guys are still with me. Hopefully my internet is still going, but it seems like it's just like not wanting to get me to the next step. But Facebook and Google ads would be my suggestion on being able to um, get your link of what you're offering digitally online, which is to try to get people to find curious about your home value. Um, we'll do a deeper dive on how to set up a Google ad because I know a lot of people have wanting to get into the how to. I just don't want to get lost too deep into the specifics on that. You just focus on the homeowners that are in your market and use targeting around the neighborhoods that have the high turnover rates. That's um, the second tip there. And then you're going to automate your lead capture with smart campaigns. Okay. This is the next best way to be able to try to secure get somebody to respond, right? They clicked, but then you got to get them to be able to pick up the phone or respond to a text message or respond to an email. You're trying to start a conversation with them to find out their motivation and their timing, okay? What their goals are. That's the next step here. So whenever you get the lead, then you're going to want to have them set up when they come in as a seller. You're going to want some kind of a automated campaign that's going on in the background while you're trying to contact them personally. That would be my recommendation. Okay. So the campaigns that I have are the core campaigns that they provided for us. You'll go to marketing and then go to smart campaigns, and they have several different options for you. My suggestion is just use the core default seller campaign. It's right down here. This starts default for new seller leads when the status is new lead, designed for sellers. Okay. You can look at that. That's where they'll start. Okay. And then if if they respond to anything that's in this campaign, these texts or the emails or something, then or if you've made contact by phone, because it's going to have reminders to the agent here to call, right? Look through here, customize it, make sure that it speaks the way that you speak. Make sure it has, a message that you want to convey. Personalize it. Use the KvCore, the Bomb Bomb feature, the core video package is certainly worth the monthly subscription, the added bonus to be able to have these included in your campaigns and have that go out as one of your first texts or your first emails right when the lead comes in. So my first tip is whenever you are trying to convert a lead is be responsive, be quick to respond. And your campaigns are going to be the first step to take care of that for you when you're out and about in the field on an appointment with your family at dinner and a lead opts in. You might not be able to call them right away. That's where your automated campaigns are going to try to take over for you. And if you're not using this, if you're not simply clicking the blue button to make these campaigns active when the lead comes in, then you're potentially losing an opportunity to convert that lead, to have them decide to do business with you on down the road versus somebody else. Okay. When you start doing this at a high level and you're putting Google ads out there, Facebook ads out there, you're doing direct mail marketing to a neighborhood, and they're all trying to tie back to go to the website, click on the link, fill out your information, find out what your home value is worth, right? Then that when you start doing that at a high level and you start getting 30 to 50, maybe 100 leads per month that are coming in throughout the month, it starts becoming difficult to keep up with who do you need to follow up with. So having these campaigns in place will help get you started, right? The next suggestion that I would go, so this is the default when they're new. Let's go back here to the campaigns. Once they are not new and then they've responded, then they switch over to active, core active seller status. That means that we have a pulse. Somebody's responded to a text or an email, and then it just sends a notification to you. All of this campaign is, it just stops everything and notifies the agent that this could potentially be an active seller, based on their behavior. Okay. Now, then you've got to decide what if the response was yes, I am, you know, wanting to sell in the next 2 months. Then you do have an active seller lead, and you need to have a conversation with them. So you need to jump in there and try to get them on the phone and try to talk with them about what their intents are for the next 30 days, 60 days, maybe, whatever it is. One second. Okay, a lot of things coming through during the hour when I'm hosting these things on a Tuesday. It cracks me up. As soon as I get started, then everybody is wanting to talk. So really, then if they're a ways out, I would call that a prospect rather than an active lead. So you have core prospect seller campaign for seller leads who have been moved to prospect status. So then you can say whether or not that's the case or not. You can change them over by just simply taking that lead and moving them over to prospect status from active status, if it's been jumped over. Okay. And then this will start taking place. And then look, every 30 days is a touch. It's very, very passive, very soft. Okay. So this campaign is operating. Then at the bare minimum, if you're not going to enact these campaigns to try to nurture and get this lead, um, staying in front. This is just stays in front of them with an email or a text every one email or one text every 30 days, and then a reminder to call every 3 months. That's pretty simple, so there's no real harm. Nothing goes out immediately once you switch it over to prospect. The first step immediately is just a system to the agent to make sure that you have some tasks going. So seller wants to know if their home value changes. Make sure this lead is set up with a monthly listing valuation at the bare minimum. Sellers also want to know if houses are hitting the market around them and what they are listing for. So set up property alert for the lead's neighborhood or for a few blocks around their address. And then it even has a link to a little video to show you how to do this. I mean, these campaigns try to think of everything already. This is just a little note to the agent once they switch to prospect status that you'll see show up in the lead. So I'll show you what that looks like. So me. Okay. Right now, I'm new lead, right? And then let's say I responded to a new lead campaign, and then it would move me to active. And then if I move it to prospect, okay, then I've got that first task alert to me shows up immediately, that one we just looked at, right? And then the links are right there to walk you through. So basic, if you're not going to have campaigns operating in the background, then the basic thing that you're going to have to remember to do is to have a search alert going for this person's around that person's neighborhood. Okay. So you could go in and at the bare minimum, just put neighborhood search. And this is only if they've entered an email. Okay. Can't do this, obviously. I can't send any alerts to them if they have no email to email it to. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And then I'm probably going to do this um, well as soon as possible because it's just going to be giving them an update on the new listings as they come on the market in their neighborhood. Okay, then what I do is instead of putting a specific city or zip code, then I get very specific and I go and find the area and I get down into the macro micro area here and say, okay, Park West Village. Okay. And then I'm gonna keep it, if the home was like right here, then I'm gonna do draw an area and I'm gonna click around that exact neighborhood. It ends on Maplewood, right? Actually, LaSalle, just south of there. So there, there, there. Okay. Now you've got your macro neighborhood ready to go, and you apply. So any homes that show up, and you want to specify single family in this case, and not just like lots or farms or other property types that may also be in that neighborhood if it's kind of a mixed area. Then you want to be specific and say, I only want to send it single family homes, and then that's it. That's all you have to really do. And then set the alert. Okay. So now the lead will get everything as it gets listed and it just keeps them updated on that area. The other thing I would suggest maybe is to do, you can edit that. And instead of doing the dynamic subject line for the email, okay, which is only just going to tell them based on what the property was that got emailed. It will just create, just listed in that neighborhood, or so, not specifically, but it'll be very generic. But you could create a subject line that would go out every time that a new listing, you could say it just exactly that. It's going to be like home, new home listed with that, price range, probably if there's a couple of them that get listed or something. But if you want to do a specific subject line, then click over here and then do new just listed in your neighborhood or just listed in Park West Village. Make it, could even do a little, I don't know, a little emoji or something. Yeah, something like that. I don't know. This is going to go on the subject line every time that it goes out. So just another little suggestion there. Okay. So that's, you want to get the search alert set up, and then you want to get a market report set up for them. And that would be, in this specific case, it'd be for, I usually do them once a month. So they're getting a market report once a month. And then um, listing valuation, because it came in with the address, it automatically added the listing valuation. But you want to check and make sure that they have a listing valuation that's specific, like just like what we saw when we first did the home estimate. When they filled out that, they're going to get that page to be able to go back to and get a listing valuation sent to them. And it'll tell you last checked on what day it was sent. And if it's been a couple of months, 3 months, whatever, that you've sent this to them, then might just click update and send. Okay. And that's the bare minimum to be able to just stay in front of a seller and um, maintain some kind of a close proximity relationship to them digitally, right? This is just simply emailing them what is coming on the market, updating them on their current valuation. That's the most, I think, important thing. If you don't have the email, then the next best thing is going to be to send them something tangible with of value. A lot of people are really into goodies and gifts of a small, cost. You don't want to be sending $20, $30 gifts. Some people are like, if you got the money to do that and you want to go and like buy somebody a pizza and deliver a pizza with a package that has their RPR printed report to their door, I guess go for it. You know, if you got that, if you're doing 20 seller leads, 30 seller leads a month, that's gonna get pretty expensive. Maybe a coupon for the local coffee place or a little small gift card, something that's gonna be like $5 or less. Might be more doable for some people. That's just another idea to help you stand out when they get a personalized package that looks like somebody put some thought and energy into it. Create a system that you would be able to, every time one of those leads comes in, that you don't get a phone number or an email, just an address. You could very easily just go into RPR, punch out a property report, the property flyer rather, print that out, have some already printed materials that will go into that mailer already ready to go, so that you could literally just be like looking in your day when the lead starts coming in, that you'd be able to put that package together, or have a VA that would be able to do these things for you when you start getting this on a higher level and they start happening more often throughout the week. Then it starts becoming a little bit more of a job when you're talking about how to really have multiple touch points with people. But those are my suggestions on how to be able to capture seller leads and then be able to stay in front of them at a high level using your KvCore. I hope that you guys got some value out of that. Um, I will next month, we will dive in deeper on how to create a Google ad um, that would then ultimately tie back to a link for one of these seller squeeze pages that you could then put some dollar bills behind to be able to start getting a higher intent lead. The Google ads, in my opinion, have always been a better quality lead than a Facebook ad, just simply because it's a it's a search engine. The leads that are going to Google are searching Google for home values in whatever area you serve, or what is my home worth in that neighborhood. Somebody that's that specific is a much more ideal lead than somebody who's just scrolling Facebook that you paid Facebook to put a ad in front of that wasn't really intent. You were watching a funny cat video, and then all of a sudden your little video popped up, talking about curious about your home value. Click on the link and find out today, or get this if you click on the link, whatever that was. It's just kind of it's a different method of advertising that will, with Google, will tend to yield a higher quality lead, in my opinion. So, yeah, I think we are yeah, we're right at 12. So, holler at me again if you have any questions about this specific video. If you have other ideas of things that you want to learn about KvCore, check obviously our YouTube page for any other topics that we've covered in the past. If there's something else that we haven't covered that you want to learn more about, let me know. But that's it for today's video. I thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next month, the first Tuesday in February. All right. Take care. Bye.